One of the most shocking things, and believe me, I tell you, I'm not exaggerating. One of the most shocking things to happen to me after I came out to my family and friends was how many people I encountered who were sure that Jesus condemned homosexuality. People who had not read even one page of the Bible. Old classmates who hadn't picked up a Bible since vacation Bible school were convinced that Jesus had clearly preached somewhere that my sexuality was wrong and that I was outside of the grace of God because of who I was. And what was even more disturbing was the people who actually did read the Bible, who still didn't know that Jesus did not preach anything about this. These people just attributed to Jesus the things that they believed he said, or that they wanted to believe he said, or that they were told that Jesus said. They just in a word, and I'm not going to insult them. I'm not going to say they lied, but you didn't tell the truth. And sadly, whatever it is they thought was wrong or sinful about people who were different, or people with different experiences or different sexualities, they simply claimed that Jesus said it, even if it could never be found anywhere in the sacred text. So it is ironic that people would put words into Jesus's mouth when the Gospels are filled with accounts of what Jesus actually said and actually preached. As a matter of fact, just before we get to the text that we read to you today, Jesus had been given throughout at least 2 chapters in Luke, we are accounts for a sermon that Jesus preached. And so we know that these are sayings, some of these sayings that come down through the oral tradition of the New Testament life of the Greco-Roman world, we actually have before us the things that Jesus actually preached. And so right before we get to this encounter, we have Jesus with some sayings that actually would really, I think, liberate us if we paid attention to it. Prior to this encounter, Jesus has been preaching what has been called the Sermon on the Plain. And in this sermon, he tells his disciples and followers in the crowds, love your enemies. Pray for those who do wrong to you. He preaches, refrain from judging others. And then he preaches, do good. In all you're doing, do good stuff. These are the things Jesus actually preached before we get to the centurion. And in that same sermon, he offers blessings. And if you look at the list of blessings he offers it to people on the margins. He offers blessings to the poor, to the hungry, to the hated, to the excluded, to those who weep. And then, in contrast, Jesus even offers woes. That means trouble, danger to you. And the woes he offered to the wealthy and those who indulge their wealth and their merriment when there is poverty and deprivation in their midst. Oh, see, you didn't get it. Jesus was preaching, y'all. Preaching. And a lot of words there for us to hang on to. And so I want you to keep in mind what I just told you Jesus preached, because when Jesus gets to Capernaum, Luke tells us that there stationed there was a centurion, a commander in the Roman militia. Scholars think maybe the militia of Pontius Pilate. And Luke says that he had a slave that he highly valued, who was sick and close to death. Now, in that modern translation, much has been hidden, and the church has been all too willing to conceal what may be some things they're uncomfortable with, because scholars tell us in that Greek scholar says that word highly valued is a Greek word entimos, which also means dear to me. And the word for slave, they keep changing the word, but the Greek there could mean something like boy companion. So scholars of Greek and Roman history assert that because centurions were not allowed to marry by the Roman Empire, then they took lovers. So the Greek here suggests that this was no mere servant that the centurion valued in an economic or financial sense. No, this servant was the centurion's intimate and sexual partner. So let me tell you something. What Jesus encountered was possibly an intimate sexual relationship between two people of the same sex. Uh-oh, I'm going to get in trouble. Should I go further or should I stop? You won't warn me. So the centurion was concerned about his lover, who was dear to him and was desperate for Jesus to heal the one he loved. Now, someone going to say, I'll wait after church if you want to talk to me about this scripture so you can get on me if you don't like what I just said. But let me tell you something. Whatever is going on with the centurion, whatever is the relationship was, whatever, here's what I want you to see here. Look at what Jesus did say and what Jesus did not say. Whatever is going on. The centurion sent his Jewish friends to ask for healing. But even though he was still, the centurion thought in terms of worthiness and patronage and transaction, his faith was unshakable. And look what he said. Jesus, you don't have to come to me. Say the word. I'm not a part of your inner circle, Jesus. I'm not Jewish. I don't have anything. How Jesus looks upon what is important in our lives. To trust that Jesus is the one. To trust in Jesus' power to heal. But while this story is about that, look at what Jesus did not say. I want to know, even if the relationship was not a sexual relationship, then we have another problem. This is someone who is a master over another human being. Even if it wasn't, then we got another relationship. Jesus has been talking about power and having power over those. Jesus has been pronouncing blessings, did I tell you? Blessings to the poor, to the slave, and woe to the wealthy. So even now, we have a relationship. If it's not sexual, then it is an imbalance of power. Did Jesus give commentary on it? Oh, Jesus didn't say anything about it. Jesus said, I have never seen such faith. So this is what Jesus did not say. Jesus did not say, you are unworthy. You're clouded with original sin. I don't know what to do with you. That's not what Jesus said. In the face of all this man was, you did not, Luke, the oral tradition, nobody records Jesus saying, you are unworthy. I didn't hear, Jesus did not say there was a sexual relationship. Say it was something inappropriate. Jesus did not say to anyone, you are an abomination. Did not say it. So if you hear that and someone says Jesus said it, you know they're one of those people who hadn't read the Bible. All right, let's go. Jesus did not say, you have to be a part of my faith before I come and serve you. Did not say it. You did not have to go to the Capernaum synagogue so that you can be healed. No, you didn't even have to be a part of the faith community. You could be someone far off, but your faith is all that Jesus seemed to care about. Jesus did not say, here's a good one. Jesus did not stop and say, oh, centurion, do you have a personal relationship with me? No, he did not say that. Jesus didn't even know the man. Had never seen him. It had nothing to do with them. But Jesus did not say you have to have a personal relationship. Jesus did not even ask for conversion. Jesus did not even ask for anything. I have a servant who's sick, and all you got to do, Jesus, is say the word, and he'll be healed. And Jesus said, oh, your faith, and healed his servant. Jesus did not say, you are unclean. As a matter of fact, when they came to Jesus, Jesus was rushing to be next to the centurion, even though it may have meant he might get unclean if he came into his presence. But when they said, there's a centurion, he's a good man, Jesus was going to see him. Didn't hesitate. Jesus did not say, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Did not say it. So if you want to say that, just say, I said God did that. Let it be your word. Don't give it to the Bible. Don't put words in Jesus' mouth, because he did not say that. He did not say, love the sinner and hate the sin. He did not say it. That did not come out of his mouth. That was not in the Sermon on the Plain. So if you hear someone say it, tell them, those are your words. It's not there. It's not there. So let me tell you this. It didn't say, centurion, since the Roman Empire doesn't allow you to get married, then you must be celibate. Did not say it. Did not say it. So when someone comes and tells you, and you say, hey, this is who I am, I'm gay, then you should be celibate. Oh, you should say, I don't know who you're talking to. That's not biblical. That's not biblical. Jesus didn't say it. I'm telling you what Jesus did not say, because even now, even as we stand here, people have enlisted Jesus to be their campaign manager for closing off bathrooms to our transgender siblings. I'm telling you this because people are refusing to love their family members because they said Jesus doesn't like people who are different. I'm telling you what Jesus did not say, because there are too many people who are going to say Jesus said something when it's all the time them saying it. As we get ready to go into Pride Month, we're going to be talking about how we are God's special creation. And we're saying that not because somehow we are better than or superior than anyone, but what we're doing is I want to get us ready to show that there are things that have been said about all God's children, about inclusion, about liberation, about unconditional love, about unending grace. And we don't hear those people who come yelling at us even mention those things, the things that Jesus actually preached. Oh, I think y'all missed it. So the next time someone tells you Jesus said it, I want you with all your might say, no, Jesus did not. Jesus did not say that. Jesus did not say you need to clean yourself, or you can't be gay and follow me. Jesus didn't say it. Did not say it. Our relationship with Jesus is about trust, faith, and love. That's what it's about. Jesus is not interested in our identities per se. Jesus is not interested in our behavior. Jesus is not interested in our status. Those things are important when we find out who and whose we are. But if you have a need, if we need a spiritual blessing, if we need a healing, if we need God to come and change, if we are dealing with addiction, if we are dealing with distance from our family, if we are dealing with loneliness and depression, if we have a need deep down, there is nothing nothing from stopping us from reaching out to Jesus. And there is nothing that will stop Jesus from meeting that need. Nothing about you, nothing that you've done, nothing you've come. Jesus will be there. So as you leave this place, I want you to keep in mind that whatever challenge you encounter, whatever you're going through, whatever is happening in your life, no matter what it is, you don't have to enlist Jesus to be the one to punish you or to be against you or to judge you or to condemn you, because Jesus did say, when the centurion had a need, a personal need, not ever have I seen such faith. That's what impresses Jesus, our faith.